Jonathan Kuminga is not finding what he hoped to find on the open market. If he had, somebody would have offered him that contract by now, and this thing would be moving. I do want to start with this because the Warriors' offseason has not been disappointing. The Warriors' offseason has been exactly what it always told you it was going to be. I don't like – Lucas sent out that thing that I said about Giannis. It ended up in Newsweek because I'm such a dummy for not wanting Giannis. Bay Area sports host doesn't want Giannis. What a complete moron. Hello? This has never been viable. I'm a complete and total fool. Thank you. It has not been viable, not for 1 second, not ever. You can dream. You can do this. You can NBA trade machine. You can get excited. I don't know. And this is, I'm not trying to be a wet blanket here. Look around the league. Everybody is following these CBA rules. Like, how would you feel? You're Warrior fans and you're like, oh, we haven't gotten involved. How about if you were one of the teams that just gave all of its players away? The Boston Celtics just sent half of their players away. The Indiana Pacers thought they were 3/4 away from an NBA championship. They just lost Halliburton and Miles Turner. How would you feel if you're one of those teams? I don't know, Dibs. We've tried to say it. The Warriors made their move. They made it in February. They're very good. Are they good enough? I wouldn't pick them, but they're very good. They were very good. And there is absolutely no space for one of these landmark players to join the Warriors. There's not been one human being that said the opposite, who's like working with the
who's
league.
in the know.
Nobody has said anything different. What did we expect?
Well, we expected at this point, and maybe it's a little bit early, but you expected there to be some sort of momentum on a Kuminga resolution, either a keep, a sign and trade, or something. That's, I think, honestly where my bar has been set. And the Giannis thing is, it's always been foolhardy. And when the Dame Lillard news dropped this morning, and that's the other big bombshell of the day, is that the Bucks are going to give him the Bobby Bonilla treatment, and happy Bobby Bonilla Day. And I was looking at it earlier. I believe he has 10 more years of payments.
Goes through 2035.
And when you look at what they're paying him versus what they could have paid him up front, he's getting almost 20 times more money based on the interest that accrues each and every year. So that's one of the greatest buyouts in the history of any contract.
Oh, man.
Bobby Bonilla. And, Dame gets 4 years of paid in full money, and he now gets to decide where he wants to be next. And I do think that once that happened, and it's not coincidence that Milwaukee immediately this morning, pow, 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 3 new players, and they're trying to, show Giannis that we're still a serious player. So Giannis, I believe, is going nowhere. And it's not that he didn't like Dame, but that pairing was not going to work. And when Dame got hurt and Giannis was able to stay there, I think that the Bucks realized that, Dame is hurt. We need Giannis, and we need to reboot around Giannis.
But what do you make of this story that's come out that Giannis is not pleased with this move? He's not pleased that they have released Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, for me, front-facing PR for Giannis. What's he supposed to say? He's not going to say, we never got along, and that was never the thing.
Doesn't he say anything?
He doesn't, but he's the face of the franchise, and he's the third longest tenured player for one team in the association. So,
right.
You come out and you say what you say and you keep your leverage, but you mentioned it about other teams in the league. What other team right now can absorb $174 million worth of Giannis over 3 years? And I don't think that team exists unless you're talking about the Lakers trading LeBron.
Yeah, you'd have to
no
send
trade clause.
You'd have to send that kind of money back out.
Right. So those teams don't exist.
Right.
Like the Warriors could do that if they traded Steph and Jimmy Butler, or if they traded Steph and Draymond, or Jimmy and Draymond, right?
I don't even think Jimmy Butler is tradable yet, is he?
It would have to be 6 months.
They signed
he's probably a couple of months away.
He's not even eligible to be traded yet.
Right, so I do think if you look at the Giannis on the move topic, I wonder what team out there could actually do it, and a team that would be good enough to where Giannis would say, let me go there. Like Phoenix could do it, right? You can't trade Beal because he has a no trade, and I guess you could trade Booker because he doesn't have a no trade.
Yeah, but like these things would need to make sense for the acquiring team. They would need to make sense for Giannis. He's not
and
going to.
the Bucks, yeah.
Yeah, and the Bucks. And so, yeah, that's completely complicated. I don't even know that he wants out. This is actually the first thing we've heard of him actually being upset. And that's all we've done is we've heard it. I don't know that he said it. Chris B. Haynes reports that Giannis is unhappy. Well, maybe he stubbed his toe in the middle of the night on the way to the bathroom. That does ruin a day.
Yeah, it can.
I have no idea what that's all about. And to be real, Dibs, I don't care because he's never been an option for the Golden State Warriors. He's not an option. None of these players are options for the Warriors. So I get the whole FOMO aspect of this. I really understand that. That's just life. That's life. When stuff's going on, you know what I mean? Like the Warriors are sort of like they've come down with the flu on Halloween, right? Like everybody's out there popping, we get Tootsie Rolls and we're getting, Butterfingers and Reese's and all this house to house, and you're stuck in your house because you can't go. The Warriors don't get to go to this party. Not at this level. Like what they are right now, until the Kuminga thing is figured out, they're a team with a taxpayer mid-level exception, $5.7 million. That's what they can do. They can go get someone for 1 year and $5.7 million. That's it.
Strike up the band.
That's it. But we knew that. Well,
we knew that short of Kuminga. So
right.
You're looking at Kuminga.
But that's not the Warriors' fault. That's Kuminga is the reason that this is being held up.
Well, it is the Warriors' fault because they could have signed him. They could have found a way to get him in on a number, or they could have. I believe that it's not anybody's fault, but the Warriors are in a spot now where they don't really have a lot of options with Kuminga. If other teams don't want to give him a lot of money, or if other teams don't want to accept a sign and trade for a lot of money, well, then the Warriors are either stuck giving him the 7.9 qualifying offer, or waiting for a team to offer him 2 years and 25 and then matching it.
Yeah,
and that's your offseason.
But you're saying the Warriors are stuck. I look at it very much the other way. No, it's Kuminga who's stuck.
Well, they're both stuck.
Yeah, but Kuminga for a handful of bucks that's not a problem for the Warriors. I don't think.
Well, it's not a problem, but it's not necessarily an upgrade.
He's still a good player, and once you've got that contract, you're either going to figure out how to utilize him better, or he becomes a very tradable contract going into the future. You know what I mean? Like the Warriors have said repeatedly, we're not giving him up for nothing, period. And they're right. They're right to do that. Are they enamored with him on the basketball floor? Clearly not. But to me, if we're going to talk about who's stuck, I find Kuminga to be much more stuck than the Warriors for two reasons. One, the word restricted is in front of his free agency.
For now.
Yeah, for now. And number two, he's clearly, in my mind, he's not getting the offers that he hoped to get. Or else something would have happened by now. This stuff goes real. Look at everything that's going on.
Still going on.
This happens fast. So I think that if you're just looking at this through a watchful eye and you're a Warrior fan, that's one thing that you can infer. It doesn't mean we're 100% right, but you can infer that Jonathan Kuminga is not finding what he hoped to find on the open market. If he had, somebody would have offered him that contract by now, and this thing would be moving. But it's not there. And that was predictable because there just aren't that many teams with space, and you're dealing with a player who is still relatively unproven as far as being that key piece to a franchise.
Sure, but I mean, the bigger thing for me is the fact that not that many teams have a lot of money to spend, and so, does a team want to make an offer to Kuminga? They still might. There could be a team out there that is waiting and kind of sussing out what the market is for Kuminga, and you might put out an offer that would challenge the Warriors if it's 4 years and $68 million, $17 million a year, and if you like that for your team, and the Warriors would have to then decide whether or not to match it, that might be a number where if you're another team, you might make an offer, a restricted free agency offer that they're going to have to match or back away from.
I doubt that kind of a number is out there, but if it is, Warriors would match that rather than let him walk for $17 million a year. That's a tradable piece at age 22.
But that ends your free agency.
Yeah,
you're left with a $5 million, taxpayer mid-level.
I don't there is no free agency. There never was any free agents. They don't have any money to spend.
Well, there is if you sign and trade, and then you have the higher mid-level that you were laying out.
Right.
So
that's
then
one player, though. Like you could,
right,
you
but
could
then you would
in,
get a player back on a sign and trade. Like I've been talking about Kobe White with the Bulls, and the Bulls are reportedly interested. And so if you could turn Kuminga into Kobe White and another $12 million veteran piece, you'd be better.
Right, but to get Kobe White, that means the Bulls are gonna have to be willing to do at least 3 years and $72 million for Kuminga.
Or somewhere close. Yep.
Doubt it. That's just my take. Doubt it.